Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2023 Hyundai Kona and the 2023 Hyundai Venue. Now I've gotten a lot of questions on my videos, especially on the Kona videos, as to whether or not you should go with the Kona or go with the Venue. And hopefully in this video I accomplish the task of deciding which one is the better buy if you're in the market for a subcompact SUV. So like I mentioned in some of my videos before, I've gotten a lot of comments here on the channel, especially on my Kona videos, as to whether or not you should go with the Kona or go with the Venue if you're in the market for a subcompact SUV. And I have to say it depends on what your needs and wants are inside of the vehicle. Now the Venue does offer a very good bang for the buck, especially in its top limited trim. However, the Kona also comes in all-wheel drive. It does come with more standard driver assistance technology if that's what you're into. However, like I said, is going to be more expensive than that of the Venue. Now both the vehicles in front of me are the SEL front wheel drive trim levels. So the Venue only comes in front wheel drive, comes in the SE, SEL, as well as the limited trims. And the Kona over here on my left comes in SE, SEL, SEL Convenience. Then you have the N line, and then you have the top limited, and then of course the more performance oriented full N version of the Kona. But this is the SEL front wheel drive, which is the most comparable to that of the Venue SEL front wheel drive, even though there is a pretty good price difference between these two, which we'll cover here in a second. So just to quickly cover the pricing information on both the vehicles in front of me, the Venue SEL on my right starts out at $22,735, including destination. And the Kona SEL front wheel drive starts at $25,285, and this represents a $2,550 price difference in both the base MSRP starting points of both of these two trim levels, not including any additional accessories or extra cost paint colors. Now in terms of the features and options you're gaining on the Kona SEL over that of the Venue SEL, you're gaining BlueLink, proximity entry, Sirius XM for the radio. You're getting more standard driver assistance technology even on the SE than that of the Venue SEL. You're getting heated side mirrors as standard equipment across all Konas, as well as the rear seat USB charge port standard across every Kona as well. Now there are a couple options on the Venue SEL that are not found on the Kona SEL, and those are the auto climate control, the leather wrapped steering wheel, as well as the power sunroof. So those are the items that are kind of differentiated in terms of the features and options between these two vehicles. But outside of this, they are very similar in what they have to offer. So now that we know a little bit more about each of these two models and what kind of differentiates them in terms of the features and options, let's go ahead and do a walk around of each of these two. Now I do have a dedicated walk around on the Kona SEL. However, I do not have a dedicated walk around video of the Venue SEL, which I might make after this video. I'm not quite sure yet. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at each one, see the exterior styling differences, the interior layout, and overall size of each. Now for 2024, it is worth noting that the Kona is getting an all new generation. So for the next model year, this Kona will be all new from a new platform based on an EV structure. However, it will still offer the gasoline internal combustion engines in addition to the EV variants, at least here in North America, and I think most other markets in the world. Now the Venue is probably due for a refresh anytime, so it'll be interesting to see if for 2024 there are any major or I guess minor changes to the exterior interior design, anything like that, because this vehicle has been around since the 2020 model year. Now up front, there's going to be a lot of similarities between these two vehicles. So starting out here with the Venue, you're going to have halogen projector headlights, incandescent turn signals, and halogen reflector high beams, chrome accented front grille with the Hyundai emblem, some silver accented trim down below. But outside of that, it is a pretty basic front end, but it does look very nice. Has the split headlamp design from the turn signals, as does the Kona over here. So moving over to the Kona, once again, halogen projector headlights on this trim level, incandescent turn signals, and LED daytime running lights up top, silver accented trim down below, and more of a matte black style grille with the chrome Hyundai emblem up here on top of the front bumper versus that in the center of the grille over there like the Venue. Now take a look down the sides of the vehicles. Both have body color mirror caps. The Kona does have LED turn signal integration, once again heated side mirrors, as well as blind spot detection. Proximity entry on the body color door handles. You can see here from the side, it does have the same black lower cladding around the wheel arches and around the rest of the exterior of the vehicle. This one does have the accessory roof rails up top, but the SEL and higher does come with the factory roof rails on the sides. Now moving over to the Venue, once again, body color mirror caps. These are not going to have LED turn signal integration, and they are not going to be heated on the SEL, but it does have blind spot detection. Your turn signals is kind of located here on the front fender, So it's kind of a little difference there. These are not LED, unfortunately, but that is the only Hyundai vehicle that I'm aware of in North America to come with the turn signals in this location. Body color door handles, once again, no proximity entry. You have to step up to the top limited for that. But here from the side, you can see it does have the same black cladding along the lower portions of the vehicle, but it is a little bit less, a little bit subdued versus that of the Kona, which does have a little bit more of that. And up top, the SEL does get the silver accented roof rails versus that of the black ones on the Kona. I actually think these look a little bit nicer. Give it a little bit of sporty edge. And both these vehicles are going to have 17-inch alloy wheels in this particular trim level. I actually think the Venues look just a little bit nicer personally with the machine gray finish versus that of the silver painted on the Kona. The tire size is going to be 205/55 17-inch Nexen N Perez AH8 all season over here, and 215/55 17-inch Hankook all seasons on the Kona. So just a little bit wider on the Kona, but overall very similar in size between the two. Backing up to the rear of the Venue, this will have a more traditional kind of compact hatchback shape, once again with the tailgate that lifts up. It does have the rear wiper on the glass. Incandescent lighting throughout the back of the vehicle, so no LEDs on this particular trim. You can see the silver accented trim down below on the bumper does match the front. There is your rear backup camera. Venue accented in the white here on the tailgate. But overall, yeah, pretty basic rear end. No shark fin antenna up top either. It does have a washer for the rear wiper right above the third brake light here. And one other thing to note is there's no tinted glass here on this particular trim on the Venue, where that is a standard feature on the SEL and higher Kona, so the rear privacy glass. But coming out back of this trim of the Kona, once again, all incandescent lighting, so no LEDs. Very similar in that regard. Same black trim down below with the silver accent on the rear bumper. It is a little bit more pronounced, and there is just a little bit more black trim throughout the side and the front and rear of the vehicle. So you might not like that aspect, but that is one of the design elements of the Kona. Rear backup camera, of course. Chrome Hyundai emblem. Same rear wiper integration. The LED spoiler taillight is external versus that on the Venue, which is kind of mounted inside of the glass. So that is a small difference there. Shark fin antenna up top. But overall, very similar design, very similar size. The Kona is going to be slightly larger than that of the Venue on the outside, and just all the overall physical dimensions in that regard. But let's go ahead and take a look on the interior, see which one has more space on the inside, how the layout and dash features are, as well as some of the comfort and convenience aspects of each. So starting out here with the Venue, let's go ahead and take a look on the interior. This one has the black interior option, so it's gonna have the cloth interior. Starting out on the door panel, mostly hard touch materials, so hard touch upper, hard touch armrest even. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver window. Silver accent door handle pull, a little bit of storage down below in the door pocket. 6-way manual driver's seat, so it does have height adjustment. And there's your black cloth interior with the gray accent stitching and stripe in the center. And you can see immediately we're agreed to one of the new aspects for the 2023 model year, and that is the digital gauge cluster. Now this one is very similar to that found in the new Palisade and the lower trim levels. So moving in a little bit closer, you can see the outside is going to be digital, but it is all fixed in place. And the small 4.2-inch screen in the center is the configurable, or kind of the menu options that you can scroll through here on the right side of the steering wheel. So cycling through, you can see your trip information, your odometer, your outside temperature, and you can change some of the driver assistance and other settings for the vehicle inside of this screen. So it is very useful inside of the Venue. Of course, there's your tire pressure monitoring, all that stuff. If you do change the drive mode, the outside lights will change red or blue depending on the drive mode to help signify what mode you are in. But that is one of the new aspects for 2023. In the SEL, you do get the leather wrap steering wheel with the gray accent stitching. I think that is a very nice touch. You have your audio multimedia controls on the left, regular cruise control, and the menu options for that screen here on the right side. Adaptive cruise control is not available in the Venue. Automatic headlights with auto high beam assist, regular wipers. There's your gauge illumination, traction control off. You can see across the dashboard, it is going to be all hard touch materials, at least in this particular trim. Textured in the middle, smooth up here above the gauge cluster. 8-inch infotainment system, does not have built-in navigation. You do have to go up to the limited to get that, but that does mean it has wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. So very similar feature-wise between these two vehicles. No real difference there. It does not have Sirius XM, so if you do want XM, you have to step up to the top limited, but then that means you lose wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. I like all the physical knobs and buttons below the screen for the shortcuts. Once again, single zone automatic climate control, USB-A and USB-C charging, and there's a 12 volt as well. Good amount of storage space in the console. Leather wrap shift boot for the shifter, drive mode select, manual e-brake or parking brake, 2 cup holders. Center console does slide forward for better armrest depending on your driving position. And inside is very small for storage, but nice to have nonetheless. Manual dimming rear view mirror, light gray headliner. Does have vanity illumination and map lighting up top. And here is your sunroof controls. So that is kind of nice to have a power sunroof in a vehicle in this segment. See, it does not open very far, but once again, this is a very small vehicle, so there's not a ton of space. So overall, a very decent interior here in the front of the Venue, considering the overall physical size and footprint of this vehicle. Of course, there's going to be plenty of headroom in the front, no matter your seating position. I will go ahead and change the seat to my rough driving position, so we'll hop in the back seat, see how much legroom there is to offer, and then we'll compare it to the Kona once we get over there in a second. So here in the back seat of the Venue, most materials will fall through, so hard touch door panel, power window controls, as well as your bottle storage down below. You can see this one does have the roof rack accessory, which is not installed, but it is in the box, so that'll be kind of a good judge. We can actually use that box and put it inside the Kona just to see how much cargo space there is behind the rear seat, so that'll be a good constant variable there. But stopping inside, the step-in height is going to be very easy. I do have to bend my head just a little bit to get inside this door sill, but that's not really a huge deal. There's a look at the front dash. No real amenities out back in the Venue, so no USB charging, no AC vents or anything. It does have a map net on the back of the passenger seat. In terms of legroom behind my rough driving position, I would say I have maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches of legroom, so it's plenty to get comfortable, at least for short to moderate trips. And in terms of footroom, I have a ton of footroom, plenty of height underneath the seat, even though the seat is all the way down, so there's not really an issue there. Headroom is going to be good as well, given the overall boxy shape of these vehicles. So I would say I have anywhere between 3 or 4 inches of headroom, so no real issue in that regard. The seats do not recline, and I'm not sure there is an armrest either. I don't believe there is an armrest. Now, touching on the cargo carrying capacity, manual liftgate, of course. Neither of these vehicles will have a power liftgate. You do have a lamp over here on the left side. No 12 volt charging or anything like that. This does have a spare tire beneath the floor, so you can see right there with your roadside tools. But overall, a very good amount of room considering the overall footprint and size. Seats do fold down 60-40 split. Here's your privacy cover that is easily removable. And here's your third brake light as well. Like I mentioned, it is inside of the vehicle versus that of the Kona, where it's integrated to the spoiler on the outside. But quickly touching on the front passenger seat. 4-way manual seat, so no height adjustment. I will go ahead and leave it in its current position for a rough, comfortable passenger, just so we can gauge the cargo carrying capacity over there in the Kona. A little bit of storage here up above the glove box. It's not damped, no lighting inside or anything like that. Now taking a look at the Kona here in this SEL trim level. Once again, proximity entry. This one is white with the light gray interior. This is going to be cloth as well. Starting out here on the door panel, mostly hard touch material, so hard touch textured upper. I like the gray accented middle section. It definitely breaks up the inside in terms of all the black plastic. It is going to be a hard touch armrest as well. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver and front passenger side. Bottle storage down below. On the SEL and higher, you do gain a power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar, so that is another advantage of the Kona. There's your light gray cloth seats. You can see immediately we don't have any sort of digital gauge cluster, so you have the analog gauges with the same 4.2-inch color display in the center. All the same information is going to be displayed on it. So driver assistance technology, your digital speed readout, tire pressure, odometer, all that stuff is on that screen. Regular urethane plastic steering wheel, so not leather wrapped. Multimedia radio controls here on the left side. Cruise control does have lane follow assist, which is an upgrade versus the lane keeping assist on the Venue. No adaptive cruise, that is available on the higher limited trim level if you want to get that. Automatic headlights over here. It does not have high beam assist in this particular trim level. And here's your regular wiper stock. Gauge illumination, downhill assist, traction control off. Same mostly hard touch dashboard as well. It is all textured. So very similar in that aspect. So moving over to the infotainment system, same 8-inch screen size. It does have Sirius XM as well as BlueLink connectivity. So you can use the smartphone app on your Android or iPhone compatible device to remote start and lock, unlock all the vehicle controls with this particular Kona. So that is a nice upgrade in my opinion. But really the same overall software, you're just getting Sirius XM as well as the BlueLink. And it does have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay as well. Single zone manual climate control. No USB-C ports, just 2 USB-A charge ports, as well as a 12-volt outlet. Here's your drive mode select. It does have normal, sport, and smart. So no snow mode, but it does have a smart mode instead. Automatic engine stop start off button right here. Same manual e-brake, 2 cup holders. Here's your proximity entry. You do have remote start on the key fob, so that is a nice upgrade as well. Center armrest does not slide, but it is finished in the same light gray color if you get this interior option. Same amount of storage inside, I would say thereabouts. Same light gray colored headliner. Vanity illumination. Here's your manual dimming BlueLink rear view mirror. Does have a sunglasses storage holder. I think this might be one of the last Hyundais with this option. That is nice. And incandescent interior lighting. So I would say roughly the same quality interior here up front. I would say maybe there's a little bit more room in terms of the overall volume. I believe this is a slightly wider vehicle. So in that aspect, I would say it is a little bit larger. But I'll go ahead and set my seat to my rough driving position once again, and then we'll hop in the back seat and see how much space there is back there. Take a look at the rear seat of the Kona. Most of the materials will fall through from the front seat. So same hard touch door panel with the gray accent in the center. A little bit of storage down below. Let's go ahead and step inside. I don't have to duck my head, I would say, quite as much here on the door panel. Seems to sit up just a little bit higher. But taking a look at the front dashboard, see, very nice interior. Out back, you will gain one additional amenity over that of the Venue, and that is the standard USB rear seat charge port. No AC vents and no mat pockets on the seats or anything like that. In terms of legroom, I have to say I am quite surprised. I would say I have about the same amount of legroom as that of the Venue, and that might be partially due to the fact that the seats themselves might be a little bit larger in physical size and thickness and stuff like that. But overall, I would say there's negligible difference between the interior volume. I would say I have about 1 inch of rear seat legroom behind the plastic scallop portion in the seats. Footroom is going to be about identical as well. And in terms of headroom, again, I would say I have roughly the same amount of headroom, if not maybe like a ½ an inch less of headroom here in the back seat of the Kona. The seats do feel like they sit up maybe a little bit higher versus that of the front seat, so it might be a little bit of a stage seating type of scenario in here. You do have a center armrest, so that's a nice touch with 2 cup holders inside. The seats themselves do fold down 60-40 split, but overall I would say rear seat legroom and overall size is going to be very comparable to that of the Hyundai Venue. Okay, so here after placing the box inside, I would say there's actually 2 to 3 inches more room behind the seat than that of the Venue over there. But overall, I would say it's very negligible, very close between the two. And you can see here, there's about 3 or 4 inches behind my seating position. Over there in the Venue, I would say there was about 1 to 2 inches. So if you want to say there's about 2 inch longer of length, this is pressed up against the hatch, so it's all the way back. I think that is a fair assumption, but otherwise, I would say they are very similar. So now finishing up on the passenger front seat here on the Kona. 4-way manual passenger seat, so no height adjustment either. Dashboard does not have the same storage pocket or anything. Glove box is not damped, but it does have a light inside, so that's a nice little bonus if you're into that kind of stuff. So under the hood of the Hyundai Venue, you're gonna find the 1.6 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. This puts out
121 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque
through only the front wheels. No all-wheel drive is available, and this is mated to an IVT type transmission. Now under the hood of the Hyundai Kona, you're gonna find the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. This puts out 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque through either the front wheels or all 4 wheels if you option all-wheel drive. Now this is also mated to an IVT type transmission, regardless if you get front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Now my overall thoughts are this. Like I said, the 2024 Hyundai Kona is going to be all new in the next model year. So it'll be interesting to see what Hyundai changes in terms of the availability of options and features across not only the trim levels, but also just in general, because I know in Korea they do get a lot of exclusive equipment that we do not get here in the United States. And I have seen, of course, ventilated front seats, power passenger seat, a power liftgate, all available in the Korean market, at least on the prototypes or pre-production versions that they've showed to the press over there in the Korean market. So we'll have to see how much more of that equipment makes it here into the US, at least as a standard or available feature. But overall, I think the Hyundai Kona definitely offers more features and options that just aren't available here on the Venue. Now with that said, I would say there are some key selling points here for the Venue in my opinion, and that would be the overall price point for the features and options that you're getting. So here in this SEL trim level, it is a very nice option if you want to keep the budget and the price point down while getting a nice few amenities such as the leather wrapped steering wheel, of course the single zone automatic climate control, the sunroof, the larger 17-inch alloy wheels on the outside, and of course you do have the standard wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay on the 8-inch touchscreen infotainment. So all that I think is very nice. And like I've demonstrated here, hopefully with myself as well as this box in the back, there is still a lot of rear seat legroom and cargo carrying capacity given the overall footprint of the vehicle. Now moving over to the Hyundai Kona, like we showed, the overall size inside, even though it is a larger vehicle on the outside, is not all that much different. So if you're looking at size differences between the two, I would say it's fairly small in terms of the overall difference. However, there are standard as well as available options that are simply not available on the Venue. So if you want a little bit more feature-rich vehicle, not only with the interior materials, but also the technology, as well as some of the other just comfort and convenience features, then you will have to step up to the Hyundai Kona to get those. And of course, the big one with the Hyundai Kona as well is going to be the availability of all-wheel drive. Now, I do have a video here on the channel explaining the differences mechanically of the front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive Hyundai Kona, so make sure to check that out if you're interested. But essentially, if you do get the all-wheel drive Kona, you do get the multi-link independent rear suspension as well, which should change the ride quality a little bit for the better, because each of the rear wheels is independently moving, where that of the torsion beam, not only here in the Venue, but also the front wheel drive Konas, is going to have the rear wheels somewhat connected on either side. But overall, I would say both these vehicles are definitely worth considering if you're in the subcompact space of SUV. And of course, there is going to be some stiff competition here shortly from the 2024 Chevy Trax, which should be going on sale here in the next, I would say, 2 to 3 months or so. You should start seeing those on dealership lots. And it will be interesting to see what Hyundai does. Like I said, that is going to be all new for 2024 in the Kona as well. Hopefully be available late this year. So it will be interesting to see between these two models which one kind of pans out to be the better deal. But overall, the Chevy Trax is going to be very, very stiff competition for both of these two models, given the price point that they have priced that vehicle at, and the features and options that they've given it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this comparison video between the Venue and the Kona. You'll have to let me know down in the comment section below which of these two vehicles you think you are interested in if you were to buy a subcompact SUV, and why. Do you think the price benefits of the Hyundai Venue outweighs the feature benefits of that of the Kona, not only including the technology, the comfort features, but also the all-wheel drive like I mentioned? Let me know all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are not already subscribed, and check out some other of my content here on the channel. And as always, I appreciate the support and hope to see you guys in the next one.